With the general theme of this episode, I figured I would review it on VHS. So, let's load it in, then we can begin. We start this episode at the end of another adventure, helping some sort of T-Rex get out of trouble. The gang is about to proceed to the next car, when all of a sudden, the bridge collapses. In its place, a new car appears. The way this car is set up reminds me a lot of the older versions of Clue, a mix between Victorian aesthetic and the technology of the 1950s. While looking around, a voice sounds off in the distance. They instantly recognize it as the voice of the cat from The Beach Car. While she is bitter about the earlier situation, she seems quick to forgive. However, Tulip is not buying it and heads for the door. To stop her, the cat accidentally tips over a few tapes. When I first saw this, I thought they were Atari 2600 cartridges. In looking closely at it, it looks like Cartravision, a rather obscure video format that didn't last for very long. While picking up the tapes, Tulip stares at one of them. Under the Atari 2600 theory, I thought it was going to say, good guys poppin' bad guys. However, what it really says is her name. The cat says this tape is associated with her number. Everyone is a little hesitant about watching it, but the cat forces her hand. Quite literally. In pressing play, she is sent inside her mind. The sequence reminds me a lot of Inside Out, as well as a great episode from Digimon Season 5. Through her memories, we see good times and bad times, but there is something off with these memories. When Tulip realizes this, the static starts to eat at her. In correcting the memories, she is able to keep the static at bay, but each mistake eats at her a little more. Eventually, she is able to sort out all her memories, and this clears away the static and sends her back to herself. I would say the real world, but that just doesn't seem right. The cat is surprised that she came back at all, when Tulip recognizes that this was a trap and goes right for the door. Cat tries getting her to stay, saying the number is going down on her hand. Tulip makes a very big decision here and says she doesn't care, and then puts her glove over the hand so she doesn't have to look at it. The cat tries one more time. Once again, Tulip is not buying it and leaves saying, no more numbers, no more mysteries. After she leaves, the car goes back to its original position when the alleged conductor appears. The being asks for Tulip when the cat frantically says the girl and the ball got away. Just then, there is a red line in the shadow. In seeing this, I'm reminded of Gort from The Day the Earth Stood Still. The lights speak in chimes, much like the robot from Castle in the Sky. It appears to give the order to strangle the cat. Through her sharp tongue, she is able to convince the light, as well as No-Face, to let her go. This comes at a cost, as No-Face destroys the car. The episode ends with the red line fading away. I have to be honest, with the last episode, the Crystal Car, I was getting worried that was where the series started to go downhill. This episode, though, completely destroyed that idea. I think the main thing that this episode did better than the Crystal Car was leaving more of an impact. The viewer in the last episode is left with the question, so what happens next? With this one, we have a slew of questions. What does the cat know about this being? Why does it want Tulip? What is this red light? And how will Tulip react now that her goal isn't lowering the number? Also, if you're a fan of my channel, you know I get excited whenever I see either old technology, such as the TV they viewed the tape on, as well as the tape itself. The only thing that bugs me about it is the player. It looks like a standard VCR. From what I can tell, Cartravision was usually built into the TV itself. However, the standalone unit looked nothing like they do in this episode. For me, I say go all the way and animate an authentic Cartravision player, or just make the tape a standard VHS. Probably be easier to draw anyway. Other than that, I would have to say this is my favorite episode so far. I can't wait for it to be topped. Perhaps it will be in the next episode, The Unfinished Car.